for you to share some of your insights, Armaan, on what that import signifies and what your thoughts are around inclusion of children with disabilities in schools, especially in government schools, in the government system.
So, Nani, at the outset, I must apologize for not being there in person. I really wanted to be there, and I confirmed my presence, but my due apology. I'm traveling. I had to come to the place called Pali. It's about 2 hour drive from Jodhpur. This is again around elections, disabled people and politics. I think, in my opinion, disability is a political problem. And I see Vinit smiling to hear me. Right. And one is not very popular when you say things like that. And so I have been traveling. My team is traveling a lot. We have been going around, country, trying to meet various people with disabilities, and also trying to break stereotypes, not just be in Delhi, Bombay, and Pune, and Tier 1, Tier 2 cities, trying to break the barriers, going a little deeper into the more grassroots, and trying to hear concerns of people with disabilities, and to see that if their expressions are being captured and relayed to the right kind of people. Now, having said that, thank you for having me in this important panel. Honored to be with Vinit. Fantastic guy, and the kind of work he's doing is very infectious, and more power to you, Vinit. I don't get to speak to you so often. And on the day of the World Autism Day, I think there's a lot more awareness than what it was about 2 decades back. I know of parents who have children and adults with autism, and they are very difficult, lived experience of their children having autism and so on. When you talk about the UNESCO report, that report was called In for Nose, and I was part of the editorial team. It happened in 2019. And the report is something which all of us know that hardly 1% of people with disability get education. Some of the things which came out that 75% of children who drop out of school at the secondary level, and 75% of children never ever go to school. And irony is that a country like India, we are one of the 150 plus countries in the world who makes education a fundamental right. The responsibility of giving free and compulsory education to children in India is with the state. And when it comes to children with disability, it's up to the age of 18. So for the RTE says that all children with disability, all children up to the age of 14 are supposed to get free and compulsory education, and children with disability will get up to the age of 18. And when we say free and compulsory, the compulsory doesn't mean the responsibility is on the parents, the responsibility is on the state to ensure that there is free. But when it comes to children with disability, I think it falls through the crack. The enrollment rate of children with disability is around 27%, and this is a UDICE data which is the government generates statistic-wise. And this 27%, by the time it comes to secondary level, it comes to 0.5%. So that's the kind of dropout which happens in India in the education system. And this despite having such a strong, constitutional amendment, and then making education a fundamental right, having a right to education in place, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, and a very, very progressive national education policy which has come after 40 years in India, and it is for the first time that education has been talked about. Education of children with disabilities talked right from an early childhood development to higher education. The use of technology in giving providing education to children with disability, promoting inclusive education. But somewhere, we are not there at all. We are not in the agenda. We see that the education budget of Government of India has been cut every year on year. There's hardly any budget which is to do with education students with disability. And then this study that we are doing in partnership with Bajaj Finserv, realities like sexual harassment of students with disability while using public transport has come up. And this is irrespective of any gender. It is not only limited to girls. So I think this is quite worrisome, and it discourages, students who are able to participate in a mainstream with so much of struggle, and then these systems are not into place. The ecosystem doesn't consider disabled people. The promotion of open schooling amongst students with disability who are able to participate in a regular schooling or education system is worrying. Education for that matter is a matter of choice. What is the medium that you want to have? And having said that, Sonali, if you look at the Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, it's a game changer. It's a game changer for persons with disability. Its chapter on education is very clear, and it talks about two things, which is something which all of us should be very, very aware and conscious of. One, that no education institution which is funded by government or recognized by government can deny inclusive education or education to students with disability. Mind you, it says recognized. So tell me any school which is not recognized. I mean, recognized by CBSE, ICSE or state board, and they cannot. So how many of us are kind of taking these issues up with in our own respective states, district or thing. Second thing which the law is very clearly talking about is reasonable accommodation. Reasonable accommodation is not limited to employment now. It has come into education for the first time. So if I'm not able to take maths, if I'm not able to take a language, if I'm not able to do STEM language, so I have an alternative. I need to give an extra time to write. I need to have access to scribe, any assistive technology. So all this discourse need to start, and we need to look beyond ourselves. And I think people like us who are in the space of disability is burning like candles from both ends with so much that we want to do, and all this in isolation. The government doesn't recognize your effort. They don't want to partner with you. They don't want to take the knowledge that you have. So I think there needs to take a pause and relook at the entire skill that is required. So I'll stop here. Sonali, I'm driving back from Pali to Jodhpur, so I might just get disconnected, but have to respond if there's any question later. Thank you so much.